Այսօր հարգելի բարեկամներ, Սփյուռքի ձայնը հեռուստահանդեսը դարձել ձեզ հետ է։ Այսօրվա իմ հաղորդումը ուզում եմ սկսել ձեզ ներկայացնելով գեղանկարիչ դիզայներ Վազգեն Քալայջյանին։ Ձեզ ծանոթացնել նրա բացառիկ ստեղծագործությունների հետ, ինչպես նաև ձեզ ներկայացնել մեր ունեցած հարցազրույցը այս տաղանդաշատ արվեստագետի հետ։
Vazgen Kalayjian is an Armenian-born spiritualist artist, painter, meditation teacher, and a successful branding expert. It is fair to describe him as a Renaissance man. Kalayjian had his first solo exhibition of his paintings in New York in Soho in 1996 and a second in 1997. He has participated in group exhibitions at a number of galleries in New York City and Connecticut. Most of the exhibited works in his last show in 2000 were sold to private collectors and corporations. Kalayjian has been featured in a number of art journals and publications, including Art News, Art Speak, Gallery and Studio, and many others. The artist was also invited to have a solo exhibition in Yerevan, where he showed his Ray of Creation series. In addition to his career as a fine art painter, Vazgen Kalayjian is a global branding expert, chief creative director, and a strategic thinker with extensive Fortune 500 experience. Vazgen Kalayjian has developed and successfully managed a full-service New York-based digital agency offering brand strategy, brand architecture, and various interactive design services. Vazgen Kalayjian is also involved in Eastern spiritual studies. Some of these studies took Kalayjian to the Eastern schools of spirituality, yoga, qigong, Buddhism, and Zen meditation, including formal training in Rinzai Zen and Koan study, as well as Zen brush art. In later years, Kalayjian became interested in some of the nature-based practices of shamanic teachings, which deeply influenced his later series of paintings. According to the artist, this series of paintings reaches deeply into the study of vibration, and everything that surrounds him is reflected from the cosmos. The experience for the artist is similar to a vision quest he has experienced at stone meditation sites in the western United States. Most importantly, Vazgen Kalayjian is an important member of our Armenian community, and we are very happy to have such a talented and exceptional individual among us here in New York.
Our guest today is a fine art painter, a spiritual teacher, a businessman, a renowned member of our community, Vazgen Kalayjian. Thank you very much for being a guest on our show. I want to begin speaking with you regarding your earlier career as a fine art painter. If you can tell us in a few words, how did you begin to paint? And perhaps more importantly, what has inspired you to become a painter?
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today. As you know, I'm the youngest of 5 in my family, and basically all the major roles were taken. We had a priest and a poet and a doctor, and I kind of grabbed at that, and it was 6 years old, and my mother noticed that I was talented, and she encouraged, and the rest of the siblings also encouraged me, and then they sent me to Saryan Academy in Aleppo, Syria, and that's where I basically started. And then when we came to America, I went to art school. I studied at Pratt Institute. Although I started in fine arts, and then I quickly changed to communications, and I majored in communications because I really enjoyed the business aspect, and I landed a great job working at NBC, and that sort of launched my career in the branding field. I was brought into NBC to be on the team to rebrand NBC in the late 70s. This is when we were switching NBC from the old logo to the new peacock that you see right now. So I was on that team, as well as working on the Olympics and many other great jobs, and starting family and having children and all of that, while all the time continuing to do my art on the side just for myself.
Guide us through the process of your development. What was your vision in the beginning? What has inspired you in the beginning? And how that vision evolved as you evolved as an individual? And how did your work was influenced by your changing outlook at life, by your changing philosophy, and by your growth as an artist?
Early on, Saryan Academy in Aleppo had a great influence on me. Impressionism, Cezanne and Van Gogh. So that influence there, and also classical drawing, charcoal drawing from statues. And then when I came to this country, all of a sudden, obviously everything was available to me. And as a teenager, I was really excited about the surrealist painters. So I used to copy and create my own surrealistic version of those paintings. And then later on, going to school and studying all the different aspects of art, from the classics all the way to Cubists and abstract expressionists. After studying all of those, and slowly my own personality began to emerge more in my 30s. Another really important aspect I have to say is calligraphy. Growing up in Syria, we had to study calligraphy, both Armenian calligraphy and Arabic calligraphy. And then in this country, when I started my interest, for the last 20 years, I've been studying Zen Buddhism. And in Buddhism, you also study Chinese and Japanese brushwork calligraphy.
Are there any current series that you work on?
Currently, I've been working on a series called Karahunj series. As you know, Karahunj is this very special part in Armenia where they have these ancient rock formations. And scientists are saying right now that those rocks are roughly about 7,500 years old, much older than Stonehenge in England. So I've been to Armenia like half a dozen times, and each time I go and spend a lot of time alone at Karahunj, meditating and sitting with the rocks. And somehow the effect of those rocks in that special place is beginning to come through the work. And the series that I'm working on, it's called the Karahunj series.